What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Griswold Trading YouTube channel. Thank you guys for being here. If you are new, then welcome. If you are a returning viewer, a subscriber, then welcome back to you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Today we're going through the watch list, the swing list for the week of December 5th. These are our swing plays that you can get a week to 2 weeks out on a time frame. And we're going to go through those really quick here. So there's a bunch of them. We are going to go, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you guys a 2-week chart and how there's also possible setups there as well. I'm on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold, so you can find me there. You can also find me in my Discord. That link is in the description below, so go check that out. Everything that I offer to all of you guys for free or fee-based can be found in that Discord. 95% is free. There is a paid membership as a portion of that Discord. You can choose to use it or not. That's up to you, but it includes a lot of really great stuff. You get one-on-one access to myself, access to the Strat indicator that I've created, the live trading bots that I have for you guys on SPY, NEO, QQQ, DIA, the list goes on, and a bunch of other really great features like the top 5 from the watch list videos. Okay, so let's get started on this watch list. The first one I've got here for you guys is American Airlines. So if you guys are new to this channel, new to the stream, I'm going to teach you guys a little something about inside bar. So an inside bar or a 1 bar in the strat, the strategy that we teach on this channel, is a consolidating candle. It's a tightening range. It stays within the range of the previous candle. It doesn't break the high and it does not break the low. Okay, it stays within that range. And when we see that yellow bar that's created by my strat indicator that I created, when you see that yellow bar, I want you guys to think of a spring being tightened, compacted, loaded. And when that spring gets released, you usually see a big explosion to one side or the other. And we can just go back in time and look at the previous inside bars and see how they break up to these upsides. Now, they don't always work. I always tell you guys, every trade is based off of probability. And I wish it's something I would have realized and really taken into account a long time ago. Because you look at these inside bars and yes, they have big breaks to the upside or the downside. It's doing exactly what I said it would, told you guys it would do, and the candlesticks are doing exactly what they said they would do. But sometimes you don't get those breaks. Like even here, we opened and we did come down, so it was a winning trade. But you can see here, guys, the probability of this stuff is really, really high that it works out. And I'm trying to find one. Like here's one. Did we hit that target? Obviously not. Did we have a winning trade here? Yes. But was it as big of an explosion as we would have liked? No. And that's what I'm talking about here. Like the probability, it doesn't always happen. But the majority of the time, if you look at these inside bars, we get these really, really big breaks. And myself, OG Trades, and a bunch of others will always tell you guys, if you're struggling, if you're new, concentrate on these 1 bars. Concentrate on the inside bars. Take the breaks to the high or the low. Now we're looking at swing plays. So when we look at this, we can take calls at 14.57. We can take puts at 13.67. I'm calling out those numbers off of these pink lines. The dollar values are here. 14.57, 13.67. And then your targets just become the top of the preceding wicks. No different than on the daily chart, but it's on the weekly chart now. And when we're taking, you can play common shares on this to the upside. I don't care. But when we're talking about options, my strike price on this, if we're looking at 14.57, I'm probably taking a 14.50 strike. Maybe 15 at the most. But 14.50 is likely what I'm taking off of this one. And I'm getting 2 weeks out. Okay? Minimum 2 weeks out. You can take longer if you'd like. If you want to take a week out, that's fine. The way I play them, 2 weeks out. Okay, we'll move on to Airbnb. Airbnb, actually, we are going to take off of here. I don't think it should be on here. We'll move on to Adobe. Adobe also shouldn't be on here. Looks like we've got a 2-up continuation, so I'm going to take Adobe off. Comcast, CMCSA. I'm also going to take Comcast off here. Why are all of these on here? I know why. I know why. Because it was not on my weekly setups. Here's my weekly setups. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So now we're on the weeklies. I went over Apple. This next one is really important. So Cat has had really, really good runs in the past. 8x trades or ADX trades will tell you the same thing. We have on CAT a double inside bar approaching the top of a broadening formation. So a double inside bar, realistically, guys, we just have a single inside bar. But in reality, we've got 2 straight days of consolidation. And the thing I like to show you guys, if you know what a broadening formation is, we basically have an inverse broadening formation, or some people call it a flag. But we're getting squeezed down here. This is getting tight, and that's where we look for that explosion, because we're tightening in that range. And so when we have 2 straight inside bars, 2 straight days of consolidation, we are looking for a really, really big break. And again, this is what I like to show you guys. Double inside bar, we didn't have that big break, okay? But that's the probabilities, okay? The probability was high that we would get one. It didn't happen. Here's one where we broke, and it ran for three weeks. Okay, here's another one. This one opened, and we got a really good run out of it. So they don't always work, and that's what I want to really make sure you guys are clear on. No trade is 100% true, in fact, 100% right. Okay, we don't know what that next bar is going to be, and that's why a trade is based off of probability. So with CAT, we can take calls at 238.47, puts at 230.79. We'll move on to CVX. CVX also has an inside bar. So we've got that marked out. Calls at 184.55, puts at 177.96. I want to go back to CAT here for a second. I forgot one thing. I talked about that broadening formation. We are approaching the top of this broadening formation. So if we zoom out, there's our higher highs that we've drawn, and there's our lower lows, okay? So we've hit lower lows, lower lows, lower lows. We've hit higher highs, higher highs. This is our next higher high. Somewhere in this range. Do we hit it this week? Probably not, but it's on that way. It's looking to trend that way, okay? So pay attention to that on CAT. We'll move on to Disney. Disney had a 2 down that finished green with a hammer candle. So I am going to look for Disney to trend back to the upside. We had a hammer candle here. Didn't work out. That's probabilities, guys. Now we have another one, but this time it's green. So we're going to look for that to trigger at 99.69. And again, if I'm looking at targets here, $100. Okay, strike price of $100, expiry 2 weeks out. That's on Disney. We move on to GE, and again, stay with me till the end here, guys. I'm going to go over some of the 2-week stuff because it gets a little interesting on some of the setups. Okay, so General Electric, another 2 down, but we are sitting at a hammer candle. We are approaching again the top of a broadening formation. If we zoom out to look, okay, highs to lows, back up to these highs on GE, so we can look for calls at. I'm going to move this up just a bit there. Calls at 87.56. First targets at 88.37. So again, $88 is going to be my strike price on that. IBM has a 2 down green. We've got really, really nice time frame continuity. That blue line, top of a broadening formation. Okay, and we can draw these realistically anywhere we want. But where did I have that? There we go. So again, approaching the top of a broadening formation. So we'll see. Are we going to continue to trend up, or are we trending down? And again, guys, you saw me fiddling around there. This is why broadening formations, I feel, are subjective. Because this is a higher high. This is a higher high. Can I draw it to there? And then we've tagged the top. Okay? So this stuff can be very, very subjective. So just be cautious. Are we at the top of a broadening formation? We either are, we aren't, we could be, we could not be. I'm going to look, because we're a 2 down green, I'm going to look for this to trend up and tag the top of that. We're going to look for calls at 150.01. First target for sure at 150.40. Lucid, LCID. Lucid has a 2 down green. So we're going to look for calls on this one at, where are we? 1036 right there. And our first target at 1112. So 1050 is going to be the strike that I'm taking. XOM. XOM, inside bar. So we're going to look for a break of an inside bar, just like we had 2 weeks ago. Inside bar, we triggered, and we hit targets exactly. Okay? We hit exact targets. So we're going to look for the same thing off of this inside bar. We can look for, and I'm going to change this to pink. We can look for puts at 109.20, or we can look for the same thing back to trend to the upside at 112.07, as we are, again, close to the top of that broadening formation. Again, it's drawn on a different time frame. So realistically, can you draw one here? From here to here? Yes, and then we're not there yet. Okay? There's multiple different spots where you can draw this stuff. Could you have one from here to here? Could you say, yes, we've already hit the top of that broadening formation from here to here? You very well could. But we're playing off of that inside bar. We'll see what happens next week. It will be interesting on XOM. XOP. Okay, inside bar, shooter candle. 2 actionable signals. The inside bar and the shooter. We're going to look to break outside of that inside bar with puts at 146.88. If we hit it, that first target is for us to go 2 down on the month. We look at that monthly chart. We're still inside bar. We are 2 up red. We are looking to go 2 down on the month. So I would be looking very, very closely at XOP this week to see how it trends. If we go to the daily to see what the daily shows, we are already 2 down. We can look for a continuation off of the daily. 2-2 continuation into a 1-2 downtrend into a 2-2 reversal on the monthly. Okay? And then we go into LTHM. So LTHM, inside bar. We can look for calls on LTHM at 28.70, puts at 26.25. And again, there's that 2 down blue marker for the month. Now, here's what I wanted to go over with you guys. And you guys can take your watch list if you have one. Go over it. Go check out the 2-week chart. Because some of the setups become very interesting. We talked about Apple already, right? So if we look at Apple, Apple has a double inside bar on the 2-week. So if I put a marker on there, and let's say, I'm just going to pick a color for it. It's not going to be pink. Let's say we use, I don't know what we're using, light purple. Okay? So if we look at this, we have a trigger on the daily right here. We have a trigger on the weekly right here. We have a trigger on the 2-week right here. If we go to the weekly, if we trigger on the weekly, our first target is the 2-week. Domino effect. If we trigger on the daily to go 2 up, our first target is the trigger for the weekly. So the day triggers the week, triggers the 2-week. What do we have on the month? Okay, month, same thing. If we trigger on the 2-week, the first target is the 2 up on the month. Okay? Actually, the second target is 2 up on the month. But you can see how that domino effect kind of takes place. I'm going to go over one other setup here for you guys, and it's going to be on DraftKings. Because DraftKings also has this hammer candle inside bar. So we're going to look for calls on DraftKings, but if we go back to the daily has that inside bar as well. Okay? The week is already 2 up. The 2-week, we are going to look to go 2 up. So you can go through all of those setups, guys, and look at the 2-week chart and see how they kind of intermingle and create that domino effect off the day, off the week, off the 2-week, into the month. It's an interesting theory and a way to look at things, and it really is true the way that it works. So the hour triggers the day, triggers the week, triggers the month, and so on and so forth. You can look at it in any which way, but that's what I want to show you guys. Make sure you go and study that stuff tonight or tomorrow or throughout the week and see how it plays out. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed for more great info like this. Check out the videos at the end of this one, guys. I wish you nothing but the best this week. Have a great day on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day you're watching this, and we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.